Hello, everybody. It's me, Brandon, here, and I just wanted to discuss something with you really quick. Next week, we will not be having an episode of the Brinstar podcast. The reason being is because I'm going on vacation. So, with that being said, you can hear my reaction, along with Matt's, the following week, and we will discuss what happened and share our opinions on Nintendo's E3 presentation. I hope you all have a very exciting E3, and without further ado, let's get into episode 3 of the Brinstar podcast. Hello and welcome to the third episode of the Brinstar podcast. Here on the show, we break down a week in the life of a Nintendo gamer, whether it's based on new and exciting games such as ARMS or Splatoon 2, or to retro classics such as Pokemon Stadium and F-Zero. Whatever you are playing or interested in, you can tell here at the Brinstar podcast. Now again, I have here with Matt, and we're just going to jump right into the first topic, as always. Virtual Console release window. Also, with this past week, the Nintendo Switch Online service has been finally unveiled, and that is supposed to come out in 2018, finally to be paid for. And there's been very good price points for this. The cheapest being $3.99 for 1 month, $7.99 for 3 months, and a whole $20 for a whole year. That is a steal, especially compared to the competition.
Yeah.
Right? And with this online service for the Nintendo Switch, you're also getting a Netflix-like game rotation. And the games that were coming out were, like, what were they? Bomberman? It was not Bomberman, it was Balloon Flight.
Balloon Fight. I heard
Mario 3, right? Super Mario
3,
Bros. 3 and Dr. Mario. And also, you have access to multiplayer. Now, with this coming out in 2018, there's obviously they're not fully ready this year.
Yeah.
You know?
But I mean, that is to our benefit.
It is to our benefit, which is nice. We get to play ARMS, Splatoon, Mario Kart 8,
but
and whatever else is coming out.
That's like the big problem. Like, unless they're going to give you an option in game for Splatoon to party up, because you can. I think you can do player friend matches or friend lobbies in ARMS.
Was it?
So that's not an issue.
In the first Splatoon, was there buddy ups? I don't think so.
I think it was like something about looking on friends lists and stuff like that.
It was something strange.
It's a little worrisome, honestly. But like, when I heard they were pushing it back, I'm like, hey, free online for us people who still bought the Switch early.
I'm okay with that, honestly. I think why it's set for 2018 is they're going to debut with a big multiplayer game, and I think that game's going to be Smash Brothers. Is that it?
We're going to talk about that later.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later, but I'm pretty sure that's a safe bet of why it's set for 2018. Also, they kind of want to name what the real game rotation is called, and I think they just want to figure out, are we going to keep these games? Are we going to, have this constant rotation, or just add to this library of free games included within the Nintendo Switch Online? As for Virtual Console release window, since this episode is heavily based on E3 predictions, which E3 is next week as of this recording. Today is Tuesday, June 6th. So, and next week, E3, the Nintendo presentation's Wednesday, June 13th.
I honestly haven't been reading up on it.
It's June 13th, 12,
Probably what?
it's 12 p.m. our time, so that's Eastern over here in New Jersey.
All aboard the hype train.
I'm very excited. So this episode's going to be really based on E3 predictions, what we're assuming, what we're hoping, what could happen, and also some light touchings on a Direct that happened today. So back to the first topic, Virtual Console release window. When do you think this is actually going to happen?
I hope they just hit us on January, and they're just here's online. Here's the Virtual Console. This is everything we've wanted for Switch, and we thank you for bearing with us. And now here are the spoils.
Oh,
I think that's how it's gonna be.
You think the Virtual Console's coming out that late?
Personally, yeah. I mean, what? But think about it.
It's
there's no lull in software.
It's true. So far since the Switch came out March 3rd of 2017, I've bought almost a game every week.
Exactly.
It's had a very consistent flow. And if you're looking, or if you only play AAA titles, Yeah, you can argue that there's not enough, but that means you really just got to start playing those indies and
But
everything
honestly,
else.
at the same time, it's like Breath of the Wild, Mario Kart 8, this month ARMS, next month Splatoon 2, September Pokken,
Mm-hmm.
Mario Odyssey by the fall. Within a 7-8 month period, and you're having like
That much
5 or 6
flavor.
triple A games, like
That's awesome.
it's a pretty good deal.
Nintendo's in a very good place, and I
Yes.
think E3 is where they're gonna bring out their guns and hopefully baffle us some more, like they did last year with Zelda. So Virtual Console, Matt said it's around January. I'm gonna test these waters. I'm thinking they're either gonna drop a bombshell and they're gonna say
At E3, after this presentation.
exactly.
Yeah, right?
After this presentation, you can go to the Virtual Console. We now do have GameCube. Go
It's
download
over.
Melee.
It's over. It's over.
Could you imagine?
It's like Melee free demo with only like 2 characters.
Oh.
Dude, people, it would be over.
Or if Nintendo is very grateful, this is no way something that would happen. Could you imagine them being like, "Oh, you get to pick 3 of these GameCube games for free," and it's like Luigi's Mansion,
What I would like
Smash, and
is
something else.
like day one ambassadors get something. Like everyone who bought it on launch day.
I agree. I think that would be really cool. The Virtual Console is something I'm very excited for. I hope it doesn't come out, honestly, in January. But if it does, I'm going to be playing a crap load of games that are coming out this year anyway. So it doesn't really matter to me with that topic so much.
Likewise, honestly.
So with that, how do you feel about the game rotation? You think it's cool with this paid service?
I mean, like, if you have a month to beat an NES game, I think that's more than fair.
Especially if these games are going to have online, such as like Ice Climbers and stuff. If they even if that even comes into the rotation, that's going to be cool.
Yeah, that was like a very cool, like, wow, look what Nintendo's doing.
I don't know why, but Ice Climbers recently has been that game where I'm like, I really want to play it. And I don't want to buy it on the Wii U or anything. I just really want to play that game.
Screw that.
So hopefully it comes out for the rotation. I think it's going to be cool. I totally want to play Dr. Mario online.
Oh, you're going to get wrecked.
That's going to be so cool. Because Puyo Puyo Tetris has been nothing but a good ride with that game. So now on to topic number 2. The games that we're thinking about coming, we're gonna announce in the main title, the main topic, which is next. However, this is kind of a little bit of a filler topic. It's, do you think, Matt? Do you think the 3DS will have any games being announced at E3 that will kind of keep the 3DS afloat? Aside from a couple that were announced today. We'll mention those later. Do you think there's going to be any big surprises for the 3DS, or do you think it's just going to be small?
Surprises, no. But maybe a game announcement or 2. I don't know. Like, Nintendo is doing good because they're like, Wii U's gone. It's over. But the 3DS, we know, has this thriving market, and they want to support it. And, like, I'm like, all for that. If I didn't have a Switch, I'd be like, oh, yeah, that's so good. But now that I have a Switch, I'm like...
You almost don't want to touch it.
Yeah, and like I feel like more like they've been putting so much effort into the Switch, and like it's not good to put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm just like, there's so much I want to say, but it's about the Direct. That's why it's just like, oh. But
we will get to that Direct.
I mean, they announced the 2DS XL.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's at a good price point too.
And it looks really nice.
It does. It looks. I honestly might pick up one.
The 2DS XL is something that. I'm not going to buy it, but it's really pleasing on the eyes because it's finally a streamlined thing. It's a really, really nice looking. But as for new games coming out for the Nintendo 3DS, I think you're probably going to get maybe a few. Or you'll get a brush up of like Monster Hunter Stories. You'll get a brush up of what was announced today during the One Direct. And probably a couple other games that are floating about. As for the 3DS's life cycle, how long do you think that thing's going to last for? My guess is it's going to be done or have minor releases by 2019.
I think 2019 is like where it's just like final nail. It's just like...
You can't focus on these two, like, Goliaths.
It's just like thinking about it, it's just like they don't have a reason to stop doing stuff for the 3DS. Like, yes, they have the Switch, but like the 3DS is so successful, and like
Almost
the Wii U, it made
has
sense. The Wii U was like no one bought it.
one.
It's over. Like, but the 3DS, there's no reason. But like I feel like once we hit end of 2018, it's just like it's time.
It's time to just fully adopt the Switch, I think, and once 2018 comes out, like I said, a podcast episode or two ago, Shadows of Valentia is probably my final 3DS game. I don't think I'm gonna go back for it or back to it necessarily for anything crazy. There could be a virtual console title here or there that I will go play, but I don't think I'm gonna necessarily pick up a new game and go play it unless something big drops. But I don't think that's on the horizon for the 3DS anymore. Now the focus is in the Nintendo Switch for those bigger games. So who knows with that? Also, in talks of, everybody loves the 3DS, and we also mentioned it in our first episode, everybody also loves Amiibo.
Oh, yeah.
With Monster Hunter Stories, or whatever that one spin-off game is, coming out in the fall, in Japan, they have those really, really nice Amiibos.
Yeah,
and I don't know if they're going to come over to the States. That being said, if they do, I'll probably pick one or two up. I don't know if I'm going to buy that game, but the Amiibo look beautiful.
Yeah, they look clean.
If at E3,
oh boy,
do you expect to have any new Amiibo? Or if you could pick an Amiibo, what would you want to show up at E3?
I've been saying it since probably the first episode. I want ARMS Amiibo, and I know it's like too late and it's not going to happen, but it might happen after launch. We don't know. I think they're probably like, let's gauge the success here, and if it goes well, hey, here's a Springman Ribbon Girl double pack.
I think an ARMS Amiibo would do really well.
I really want it.
I
want Twin Tails so
bad. I kind of hope if they do Amiibo for that game, they kind of go off of the Mario Kart 8 and like the Yoshi's Woolly World, where you can put a Samus on the Joy-Con or whatever, and you'll get a skin, kind of. How cool would it be to have like Ribbon Girl and put on like a Lucina Amiibo and get like the crest of the Awakening games or something like that? I think that would be really interesting.
Bayonetta Twin Tail.
Oh,
it's over.
It could happen.
GG.
That's a cool idea, because I think when Amiibo do that, it does really well.
Honestly, it was one of the most heartwarming things playing Yoshi's Woolly World and tapping my Amiibo and being like, I could be a little Mega Man.
Yeah, you can kind of just customize Yoshi how you want.
It's so beautiful.
That's a game I still really want to play.
I need to beat it.
I really wish it would come to Switch, but they ported it on the 3DS.
Another.
I did buy that the Poochie Amiibo.
And that's not the only time we got robbed with a 3DS port. More later.
But as for Amiibo, it's almost anybody's game. I think an ARMS Amiibo would do really well. I think Springman and Ribbon Girl would do a good job getting those ARMS characters across.
Honestly, what I would love, and I know it's one of those. This is my like crack pipe dream. They're like, we have this upcoming game for Switch, and we want to reveal a new accessory, and it's just you lift it, and it's like a Dovahkiin Amiibo.
Could you imagine?
Like literally, everyone just like loses it. Oh, and here's a Volt Boy. Fallout 4 is coming to Switch.
Stop.
That's it. That's it.
Oh, you know Alduin, right? And just it's a 6-inch Amiibo. Like,
yeah.
Oh my god.
Could you imagine? Like, very like diverting. I've always wanted like, I can always envision it with Bowser, like a bigger like 6-inch
like a
Amiibo,
Giga Bowser,
and like the little tags just in the foot.
Yeah, like kind of like the Yarn Yoshi.
Yeah,
they made that big foot.
I still need to buy that.
Wherever it is, who knows?
It's like $50. It's so bad.
Amiibos, especially now with the Guardians, you can't just stop there. You gotta just go bigger. I think the Monster Hunter Stories ones, they're big too, like the Guardians. I'm not necessarily sure exactly how big they are, but they're big. They're Guardian size, if not the Yarn Yoshi foot size or whatever it's called. If I wanted any Amiibo, I really...
Metroid.
I know I hate harping on Metroid, and you guys we're 3 episodes in, you're like, oh, why is this guy talking about Metroid so much?
It's the Brinstar podcast.
It's the Brinstar podcast. Let's get real here, everybody. You come here to hear some Metroid gibberish in every episode. You'll love it.
This is true.
But give me a Ridley.
Oh.
A Ridley amiibo. Come on.
But for what game? Doodle-doo.
How cool would Pixel amiibos be for like Metroid?
Yeah.
Like a Pixel Ridley holding like the Metroid in his feet from Super.
Or it's like a Pixel like Mother Brain or something.
Oh my god! Yeah, I get too excited talking about Metroid.
When's Metroid's nearest anniversary?
Last year.
Rip.
And we got Federation Force, everybody. Yeah. No, Ridley would be really cool. I think a Kraid would be great. If there is going to be a new Donkey Kong coming out, give me the Kremlings to come back, and I would love a K-Rool.
Yeah, I don't know.
K-Rool amiibo.
I want Funky Kong.
Yeah, Funky Kong, even a Cranky Kong, Dixie.
Cranky.
The two Donkey
Lanky.
Kong and the Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong ones that came out. There was the Smash set. And then there was the Mario Party 10.
I love the Mario Party one.
What is the Mario Party?
It was the second wave of Mario Party ones.
What's the Mario Party?
Star Rush.
Is it 10?
Star Rush.
Is it Mario Party 10 though? Or
well, it started with 10, and then they had Mario Party Star Rush come out, and they released a second wave with that.
And those amiibo for Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong look amazing.
Diddy looks so like true to his actual character.
I need to get the Diddy.
He's like a cheeky little guy.
That amiibos get me really excited. I will buy all of the ones I do like.
Yeah, same.
July 21st. Our wallets are gonna cry.
Bad.
You got Splatoon 2, you got Bayonetta Player 1, Player 2, Cloud Player 1, Player 2, Corrin Player 1, Player 2,
Kamui,
Inkling Girl, Inkling Boy, and then the Squid for
That's
Splatoon
gonna be the hard
2.
one.
That's gonna be crazy.
The Squid is gonna be the hard one to get.
Yeah, for sure. I don't even know if I need them necessarily.
You need them. It's just like, I don't need it.
The first game, it was worth it, because you got the cool space armor.
And you got like missions, like little missions.
Yeah, and the single player in Splatoon 1 was fantastic. Hopefully, it's just as good, if not better, in Splatoon 2. And it's portable now with the Nintendo Switch. Here we go. You hear a slight grumbling up in the air.
I am upset.
The main topic. We're not getting to it yet. The main topic. What games do you want to see at E3 2017?
I'm such a dull man.
Matt, you go first.
Alright, I want to give like a slight explanation, I guess, beneath each game.
Okay.
Alright, so obvious. Smash. Okay. It's like we all know it. It's coming.
So you're expecting Smash?
I'm expecting Smash Bros.
Deluxe.
I'm expecting that.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I'll lose at that immediate moment.
Yeah.
Because you were on the phone with me when Cloud got announced, and I was like hyperventilating.
That was nuts.
I was hyperventilating. Smash is, I can say, my favorite fighting game. I can say that.
Okay, yeah.
And be like legitimate. I love that game to death. I've played so much on 3DS, so much on Wii U. Just love that game to death, and I really want to see a Switch port, and we all know it's pretty much going to happen. So anyway, Professor Layton. I want a new Professor Layton game. I love just the whole riddle concept.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he hasn't really had a new game since like 2013.
Has he had a console game, or is it only?
He hasn't had a console game. But I mean, that's what I was gonna say before. Like maybe there'll be Professor Layton on 3DS, but like because E3.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that series. It's so characters are charming.
Mm-hmm.
It always has like a really good story too, and the puzzles are always like challenging. But like, you know.
Did the Phoenix Phoenix Wright crossover come out yet?
Yeah, that's been out.
It came out.
We talked about that tonight. We saw a game.
Oh right. Yeah.
All right. So that's that. So then. My third choice was Animal Crossing.
Okay.
What can I say?
That's another series. I played New Leaf or whatever one came out for the 3DS a couple years ago.
New Leaf, yeah.
I really liked it.
It's so good.
But it's the fact that you got to keep coming back to it every day.
And I think with the Switch, I already play it every day.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's probably a game I'll buy digital, if anything.
You know how much people felt robbed when they saw Amiibo Festival and they saw the graphics and they're like, "This game looks beautiful. Animal Crossing could look so good on Wii U, but it's gonna be a board game."
Yeah.
Now it's like redemption time for Nintendo. They're like cracking their knuckles and they're like, "Look at this tech demo."
I'd be really excited because I'm honestly open to giving any IP that I really didn't give a full go a complete redo, and I think Animal Crossing deserves it from me.
Definitely.
I do remember creating a little Metroid shirt for my guy, and I walked around trying to find all the dinosaur bones.
There was a thing where if you use play coins, you can get these fortune cookies.
Yeah.
I got a Samus helmet out of one of them.
You're kidding.
Yeah, it's a thing.
What?
Yeah, it's probably still on my copy. But anyway, so now those are my these are possibilities.
Yeah.
What I really want, there's two,
Mm-hmm.
and one we talked about, but the second one is a surprise for you. The first one, Kingdom Hearts 3
On Switch.
The mother.
Now, we've talked about this numerous times, and we even talked about it earlier today. Kingdom Hearts feels like it's at home.
Yeah.
On, I will say PlayStation because that's where it was originated from. But I feel like its second home, without a doubt, is Nintendo consoles.
It's just, you feel some kind of magic seeing Disney characters on a Nintendo console.
With Dream Drop Distance, with Days, Recoded, those are some heavy story games.
Chain of Memories.
And Chain of Memories, yeah.
That was a good game, too.
There are some heavy story elements in those games, and arguably probably some of the best arcs of Kingdom Hearts.
358 is probably my favorite.
And it pulls some serious heartstrings. I think since Kingdom Hearts 3 is probably going to take 5 more years to come out.
Might as well just give it that Switch port and make sales.
Because is it coming out on an Unreal Engine 4?
You think so, yeah?
And from my knowledge, I heard Unreal Engine 4 is scalable. So I will buy it too. I would love to see Kingdom Hearts 3 on Switch.
Day 0, man. I'll buy that before. I will steal that from Best Buy, man. I don't care.
And they confirmed too that there's new worlds. Big Hero 6. That is the world I'm most excited for. They are finally, since we saw those guys in the movie, we are now seeing them as full-fledged superheroes. How cool is that going to be?
Honestly, the thing I'm most hyped for, as cliche it is, I want to see the Star Wars world.
Yeah,
I think about that.
If there's gonna be a Marvel world, a Star Wars world,
that game is a whole big hype train. We can make an entire episode about.
The music alone, it just Kingdom Hearts. It's fueled off nostalgia, but it's also fueled off Disney
and great gameplay.
Yeah, and the characters
so solid. It's just such.
I don't know how you can make a better crossover.
If I couldn't, that's the only game I would ever be I recommend this no matter what kind of gamer you are.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you could generally enjoy this game.
I feel like if you appreciate Disney as a whole, it sucks you in completely.
It really gives that childhood magic.
Yeah, and you don't get that in any... even watching movies nowadays.
Yeah.
You'll watch Frozen or something, and it's good, but it's not... You don't get that,
You don't feel like a kid.
You don't get that nostalgic feel. And every time I play Kingdom Hearts, whether it's 1, 2, Days, whatever, you jump into this game and you almost forget what you're doing, because... you're meeting Stitch again. You're meeting Aladdin again. You're meeting Hercules and all these characters. Simba.
Actually, I think the Hercules role is my favorite out of 2.
It blows you away.
The tournament you do.
And just thinking about it makes me want to go play it.
So nostalgic. That's why I was talking to Brendan before. I legit want to buy a PS4 just so I can play through everything of Kingdom Hearts again, and then be ready for 3. Because you and me both know we have to beat every Kingdom Hearts before 3 comes out.
We have to.
And that's a task in itself.
It is.
That's like beating 5 Breath of the Wilds. It's bad.
It's a big time sink playing all of the Kingdom Hearts. Is it worth it? 100%.
That game is so good.
What were your other pipe dreams?
My crack pipe dream. And I know it probably won't happen, but I would love to see a sequel to Kirby Air Ride.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Alright, I did not expect that. That's good.
Yeah.
Kirby's Air Ride is one of those games where you literally play with one button, and it works flawlessly.
Right. The first, I remember I was at a friend's house, and I'm like, I got this game, and I haven't ever played it before. You want to play it? Instantly, I'm like, oh my god, this is so fun. Mm-hmm. And I was literally just just so much fun, and the modes were really diverse. Sakurai was pretty much in charge of that. If you look at it, it's honestly the melee screen.
It's all melee menus.
It's very similar, but that game was taken with a lot of care, and just such a good, and it's really fun as a racing game,
mm-hmm.
and it can get really intense with the different copy abilities and everything.
What was the city mode?
It was an adventure mode. It was weird.
I loved that.
But that's what I mean.
You can have up to 4 players run around the city trying to get the Dragoon parts, and
that's where that came from. But yeah, that game is incredible, and I would love to see it on Switch. The only reason I can be I don't think this is gonna be a thing is Mario Kart.
Well, that's also to say with F-Zero.
And to be fair, Sakurai is probably already working on Smash Switch,
mm-hmm.
so I don't think they're going to tear him between 2 projects. But
do you think he would pass the IP along, or do you think he wants to work on that? Because he likes to work on Kirby games. He created Kirby, right?
Yeah. And he's the voice of King Dedede.
He is?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know
He's
that.
the voice of King Dedede.
Oh my god. I want to go back to Smash Bros. Because I think that's an obvious pick for what's going to be announced at the predictions and at the E3 presentation from Nintendo. What do you think is going to be in the Smash 4 Deluxe Edition? Do you think we're going to get ballpark? How many new characters?
Alright, you're going to get all DLC.
Okay.
And I'm going to throw 3.
3 characters.
And I think they're going to put Ice Climbers. Because the only reason Ice Climbers wasn't in was because of technical issues with the 3DS.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the same with Samus and Zero Suit, but that was a better change.
That was a better change.
That was a much better
people
change.
treated them as different characters anyway in competitive. Yeah. I think they're going to throw my boy Wolf back in there.
That'd be cool.
And then 1 newcomer. I think we're going to get 1, reveal trailer. It's going to be something really intense. Hoping it's like Professor Layton or Banjo-Kazooie. Those 2 characters I've always wanted in this game. But I honestly think maybe it was going to be a new IP, ARMS, or Splatoon, potentially. Who even knows? Maybe the Dovahkiin will be in Smash Bros. That's
you
it. You can shout at people.
You and this Dovahkiin.
Dude.
Who knows? Because Solid Snake was in it, but then again, Twin Snakes was a GameCube title, which is really good. It's that remake of the
yeah. I think the rule had to be, for the Smash Ballad, they had to have a game.
On a Nintendo.
It was funny, during that time, a lot of people voted for, Britney Spears because she had a Game Boy Advance game and it was gaining a lot of steam.
Please
it was
stop.
really funny.
Oh. As for new characters, 5? That's interesting. I don't know. I know with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, they added... How many? Did they add 5?
King Boo's, Inkling Boy, Inkling Girl.
Okay, Bowser Jr.
Dry Bones, right?
Dry Bones,
Was he DLC?
No, Dry Bones was new.
So that's 5.
And then there was a new Mario, wasn't there? Or no, there wasn't. No. There wasn't. So you had 5 new characters. Yeah, I guess 5 would work for Smash. What I think would happen most likely is you're probably going to see Springman or Ribbon Girl, or it could just be Springman with a reskin, kind of like Bowser Jr., where you're going to get Spring Girl, Master Mummy, whatever.
That would, well, I mean,
they all work differently with their arms as far as we played in the test punch.
Yeah, but they did it with, him, Olimar and Alf.
Yeah, so who knows how that's going to work. If anything, that's probably the best bet.
Yeah.
I would assume Inklings, because if anything, the best bet for me is Inklings, arms, then whatever out
then
the gate.
Some
maybe
third party.
K. Rool finally.
Banjo-Kazooie or ukulele.
Yeah.
That would be something.
I don't know if they want to use the ukulele though,
of course,
because how the reviews have been for that game, and it hasn't come out yet for the Switch.
But see, that's the thing. When they make a game like this, with Smash Bros, they decide these things. Greninja was confirmed for Smash Bros before the Gen 6 came out. It was confirmed already. That's how much in advance they did this. Because they probably had these characters set up a year, when they had that direct that ended Smash Bros. They probably were for NX, these are the characters we're gonna have, and that's it, and they know already.
That has me excited. I'm curious if there's even gonna be any new announcements, or they're just gonna be Smash Bros 2018 or Smash Bros 4 Deluxe gonna come out 2018. New info later, but hey, Inklings are in the game. Keep going. And
we're going to have a direct on it at this date.
Yeah.
That's how they would do it.
I think that's how it's probably going to go. And then Kingdom Hearts. I'm in.
So good.
I'm in. All the way. For me, when we're talking about 5.
Drum roll.
I'm going to kind of twist this on its head.
Here we go.
I think I want to go back with what we said in a past podcast, and I want to say we're going to get a partnership with Sega.
Okay.
So Sonic Forces is coming out.
Yeah.
We are getting Sonic Mania in August. Sonic Forces sometime in the fall or September. I don't know.
Sonic Forces is holiday, I think.
Yeah, something around there. I kind of hope they strike a deal with Nintendo, somewhat similar to the original Xbox, where they have a 12-game deal, 5-game deal, whatever. Please just give me Jet Set Radio Future, a port, a sequel, something of Jet Set Radio. It's been a very long time. I don't think you'll see Shenmue come to this console since it was prominently shown in Sony's last year or the year before that. Sega, Please make some or revive some IP. Put them on the Switch.
Like we talked
It would
about.
be really, 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 really cool. Then as for other games I'd love to see, Kid Icarus Uprising. I'd love a sequel.
That's fair.
Sakurai, another game he's made that it's magic, but again, he could be making Smash.
Or Kirby Air Ride 2.
Or Kirby Air Ride 2. Who knows? If he did make Kid Icarus Uprising 2, or if he gave it to another company, I would really just like to see more of Pit and Palutena and Patu or Dark Pit, whatever whatever you want to call the side characters. Kid Icarus Uprising was a fantastic game, one of my favorite Nintendo games in recent years.
That game looked beautiful on 3DS. And like to see it on Switch would be really something else.
And with an actual proper controls.
Yeah.
You're not holding the stylus.
When I had a 3DS XL, I would get cramps trying to play that game.
Oh, it's instant arthritis. But I think it'd be really cool if they even bundled the first game so people could figure out what's going on. But Pit was self-aware in that game. He knew he was in Smash Brothers. He knew there were Metroids flying around. He did reference Donkey Kong with the barrels. And there's really cool supporting characters such as Hades and Medusa and other characters like that. As for other games I think would be really cool, or possibly that we could see F-Zero.
Yeah.
It's been a very long time. It also goes on the fact, though, that Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I don't know if they kind of want to overshine a racing game.
I mean, like, if you want to, like, all right, well, first off, with Mario Kart 8, half the people who had a Switch bought it launch day.
Yeah.
Instantly. So, I don't think you have to worry about that game being successful.
Do you know how Fast RMX sold? I don't know personally.
It was a digital-only title. It got overshadowed at launch by Zelda.
And Snipper Clips and, like, all those other better games.
But I mean, like, if you want to think about it back at the GameCube, F-Zero, GX, and Double Dash existed on the same console.
Yeah, and F-Zero GX is arguably the best F-Zero, and it's still, to this day, everybody raves about it.
It is such a good game.
That's cool. I hope we get a Fire Emblem 2018 name reveal.
Or a trailer. I just want, like, a simple, like, someone, like, picking up a sword, and then you just see the main character.
That would be awesome, man. They just say 2018 Fire Emblem, The Path of War, or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? Fire Emblem Warriors, we're going to get character announcements. Yeah, we're probably... But I did hear that game is based on the newer Fire Emblems, and I believe the first Fire Emblem, for some reason.
Because, like, information came out shortly after we did the podcast about it.
Yeah, so...
And, like, it was like there's going to be 4 original characters for this game.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting how that's going to work.
Maybe a sneak peek at what we're going to see in Fire Emblem 2018.
Maybe. I hope so.
Maybe.
What was that? That was 3? 4? Yeah, because it was...
well, you were agreeing with me.
I was talking about Smash, but then Kid Icarus, F-Zero, Fire Emblem 2018, the Sega thing.
Yeah. Nice.
Alright, we're going out with a bang.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. Strap on the seatbelts. Metroid's going to be announced this year. Metroid, whether it be a 2D version or a Prime variant of some sort, this could be, Matt and I have talked about this, this could be a Metroid 1 through Fusion with Prime.
Could you imagine that?
Could you imagine? Like, I don't know if I can comprehend that.
Yeah,
that
seriously.
Ridley fight in Super alone would make me go nuts seeing it in the Prime treatment. Now, because I really do love Prime, as I have been playing it a lot. That would be really cool. Personally, I'd prefer 2D Metroid, just because I really love 2D Metroids. Or, who knows, they could flip it on its head, like Breath of the Wild, and this is where we're going to finally mention.
Oh, here we go.
This is where we're going to finally mention
how
I've been feeling, and how Matt and I have discussed, how do you make Metroid appeal to many people? How do you actually get this IP, which is already mature, it's somewhat creepy, it's not appealing to children, not everybody understands or likes it because it is odd, right?
Yeah.
It's a strange IP. Samus is going to struggle, or is struggling, with PTSD.
The lights have been dimmed.
Similar to Dead Space's Isaac, I think this is how you're going to go about Metroid from now on. Have Samus struggling with PTSD as she's fighting Kraid, Ridley, Mother Brain, dealing with Metroids, the pirates. They are scary. None of this is like pleasing.
Nintendo.
Nothing is pleasing to the eye, and in Nintendo, it's really weird. I feel like if you can somewhat change up the formula with Metroid and make this a new gameplay style, who knows, maybe you don't do the Metroidvania kind of deal, and maybe you don't do the Prime kind of deal, and you make it this Breath of the Wild-esque, figure out how to play this game, but you're also suffering from an illness, and Samus kind of has to learn from her illness and push forward, and you see her struggling. It could be M-rated if Nintendo really takes that risk. I'm not sure how far they would go with it being M.
Well, I mean, that's the thing we were talking about, like, when's the last time Nintendo really took a risk with an M-rated game? Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Well, Conker's Bad Fur Day and Eternal Darkness.
Yeah, and I mean, like, look, those games are praised
They're
as
awesome.
like, the greats. I feel like they could definitely do it.
It's...
Breeze out. The lights come up.
I've been talking about Metroid a lot this past week.
Yeah.
Whether I'm on this podcast or I was also invited on the Poly Games podcast, which everybody should listen to. It's really cool. Really great guys over there. I talked my ass off about Metroid. Metroid, they can work wonders if they really work with ideas that they have. I think Metroid deserves this grand treatment, and hopefully it can appeal to newer audiences, and finally you can get Metroid selling everywhere where it's not this obscure title that some people will buy and some people won't, because I know Metroid, I don't believe, sells well in Japan.
Really?
I don't think Prime sold well in Japan. Or I don't even know if Zero Mission or Fusion sold well in Japan. Who knows? Metroid really needs to come back and please, just give me a Breath of the Wild-esque Metroid. It's all I want. And if I don't get Metroid this year, I'm going to ask for it next year anyway. So, please, Nintendo.
Something I was thinking about, like, out of the main, like, the big dogs of Nintendo, like Metroid, F-Zero, and Kirby are, like, the only series that, like, really don't have anything coming out for Switch.
Well, Kid Icarus and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, like, do you really consider that big?
Yeah, it's...
when you think of, like, face Nintendo... Star Fox 2.
Well, Star Fox just had his run. I mean...
He fucked that up.
Yeah. Star Fox...
Excuse my language.
We may not ever see a Star Fox ever again, so...
Yeah.
Or at least for a very long time. If we see a Star Fox within the next 5 years...
That'll be a shocker.
I'll be genuinely surprised.
Star Fox Adventures 2.
It'll be on a GameCube Virtual Console.
Krazawa Powers.
So those are our top 5, but also we're gonna play around in this main topic.
Oh.
You ready?
Sure.
Here's another one.
Alright.
Nintendo's gonna learn. And also, we didn't mention this just now, Nintendo also had a really good other M-rated game that they picked up a couple of years back. And it was bundled. It was 2 games in one. And she's a lovely lady known as Bayonetta.
Oh, you're right.
They could drop the mic walking out on stage. Last year we thought Smash Bros. Was a really good time to finally add Bayonetta, the most requested DLC character.
That was realizable.
Yeah, I did vote for it. I did. And King K. Rool, but...
I voted for Cat Mario.
Get out. No, but if they seriously go, Bayonetta collection, we're bringing 1, 2 to Switch, and also, here's a trailer for the new one.
Take a look at this.
And you just see Bayonetta, and she's just awesome, and it's going to continue off from where 2 was, because Bayonetta 2, Nintendo basically made that game happen.
Yeah.
Platinum went to Sony. No, we're not interested. They went to Microsoft. No, we're not interested. Nintendo's like, yeah, we'll fund this game.
Go for it.
They made this game, and Bayonetta, I think I beat in one sitting.
Wow.
I know, I was obsessed with that game.
I mean, you're a big hack and slash guy.
Yeah.
Definitely cry.
So, when I finished that game, I was blown away. And ironically, I'm not going to go into spoilers because that game is kind of fresh. At the end of the game, she says a couple words, And I beat this game because I got it for Christmas. I beat it around June, or not June, January, like 5th or 4th or something. And she goes, "What a great way to bring in the new year." And I was like, no. That game was so cool. It played on everything I wanted in that game, and there was even multiplayer. The multiplayer was weird. I played it with my one friend.
Really?
I don't know how he felt about it. It was strange. Bayonetta 3, please, 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 please make it happen. Somewhat on a similar note, do you think Soda 51 is going to show No More Heroes?
I would like that.
I think it'd be cool to see like a trilogy, right? Pack or something.
Yeah, something.
Because No More Heroes, I know, was a Wii series, but it's been dormant for a while. There was a PS3 port, but I heard it wasn't the best. Yeah, it was called like Unholy Paradise or something,
Really?
something like that. Still, with a weird prediction schedule for Nintendo, they like to make these kind of filler games. They're good filler games.
Hey, Pikmin.
That's a bad filler game, but this is a little too soon. I'm gonna try and dabble in these waters. I want your opinion. New Zelda. Now listen, it's a top-down.
Tingle's Rupee Land finally brought to the United States.
It's a top-down, Link Between Worlds-esque game.
Like
the one that came
Link
out.
Between Worlds,
Yeah, like Link Between Worlds.
But like
for the Switch, not for the 3DS. How would you feel? You think?
If it got announced, I'd be like,
because Link Between Worlds is one of the best games in recent years for Nintendo.
You can't follow up Breath of the Wild.
I know.
That's the only issue. Everyone's gonna be like, "Why did you don't have to do this? Like, you gave us enough with Breath of the Wild."
And you still got that DLC coming.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like, and I would expect like something like a cool spin-off, but like Tingle's Rupee Land. Like,
and they announced we're going to get a Zelda mobile game next year.
Really?
Something. Yeah, instead of Animal Crossing.
Oh Lord.
We're getting a Zelda game next year, or on mobile, or it is the next mobile game, whatever, something like that. Maybe we'll see a Pikmin 4 because that was supposedly finished, as we've heard numerous numerous times a while ago. As I said, Bayonetta 3. We're obviously going to see the Rabbids and Mario.
That's right. That's a thing.
So, is there any other predictions? Like maybe a new Pokemon, like a new Pokemon, maybe a Stadium 3, Coliseum 2, XD.
I'm so
spiritual
upset.
Successor.
We're gonna talk about this, but I am upset.
Anything? Pokemon?
I really don't. Pokemon. I would like. You don't like how bad I want to see Coliseum 2.
Yeah.
Like Coliseum, not XD.
Yeah.
I want to see Seth.
I thought Coliseum was better than
like
XD
Seth is such a cool character and like one of the most.
I like the stealing mechanic. Now, only picture if you can capture wild Pokemon too.
Yeah, and like certain Pokemon are only exclusive to shadow captures.
That game made Umbreon and Espeon really likable, in my opinion.
And very beautiful.
Yeah, that intro still.
Those 3D rendered models are so nice.
Just picture that in Switch glory. Or, just give me a new Pokemon RPG on Switch, but that's not going to happen for a couple of years, because we're going to talk about that.
Mystery Dungeon. We don't.
Topic number 3. We're gonna back away from E3 a little bit.
All right.
Also last week, Hori, they showed off a Splatoon-inspired headset for the Nintendo Switch. Ooh, this does not look good.
It's rough.
This does not look good. How do you feel about the splitter? And do you think it's gonna work? Do you think this is the only headset that's gonna be like this?
Okay, there's going to be headsets.
Yeah.
That's without a doubt. But at the same time, I'm trying to think, and it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense why it's like this. I really couldn't give it a true verdict until I've used it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I could honestly see having your phone in your pocket, having it plugged in, and having like a thing that clips to your shirt.
Yeah.
And your Switch right here, and it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, like I can see it. But at the same time, it can also be really, really clunky, and the wires can be too long. It's bad. Like I've dealt with those kind of headsets.
I gotta ask you. Picture it docked. Now you have a problem. You're playing on your TV, 5 to 6 feet away.
But I mean, then yeah, crap.
Yeah, with the splitter. It's a mess. It's a mess.
Oh, this is gonna
and then
retractable.
let me add more fuel to this fire. I don't have an iPhone 6 or a 5. I have an iPhone 7. I don't have a headphone jack. How's that gonna work?
You have an adapter. Get out of here.
You know.
What if I need to charge my phone?
You know what I'm talking about.
No, I understand.
How is this gonna work with the overall design? Obviously, we have workarounds. We have Skype. We have Facebook chat. We have all this stuff.
And I mean, like, while it is cool in its own right,
it looks cool.
I don't think it's going to be utilized as much until they like really are like
until Smash
until they rework it. You know,
that splitter, if it is what it is,
I just hope it's not as clunky as it looks.
I am nervous. The headset design itself looks absolutely stunning because it is themed after the world of Splatoon. It looks like something an Inkling would wear, or somebody.
Those headphones look cool.
They look really cool. I think I would definitely buy them, but the splitter is what scares me.
It's a deal breaker.
And again, I don't have a phone with the headphone jack unless I plug in the dongle or whatever it's called. It's messy.
Maybe they'll release a Bluetooth adapter for docked mode.
I think a Bluetooth headset is probably the best. And who knows, maybe Nintendo's trying to work this out since that service is until 2018. But then again, I'm going to need a headset, or we're just going to have to use Facebook chat or Skype for Splatoon, because Splatoon is a heavy team-based game.
I mean, like, a lot of people got through Splatoon 1 fine without voice chat, but I can tell you, some people really frustrating and would not work, like, as a team.
Yeah, it's good to have a headset.
I do think this will remedy that to a point, but I don't know. It's so 50-50.
Do you think this is going to hurt Nintendo in any way?
Nope.
I don't think so
Not
either.
one bit, honestly.
Like us, we can go into a Google Hangout, we can go into Skype, we can go into Discord.
I do think it raises a slight inconvenience, yes, and
for sure.
It can be a little frustrating at times. But honestly, like, who's not, like, is it like, am I really going to be like, I'm not going to buy Splatoon 2 just because the voice chat's bad?
There's ways to get around no headset in this game. And for the Switch in general, we've been using it, playing Street Fighter and stuff like that already.
So we can trash
So it's honestly kind of an afterthought for me. But it is something that is strange, and I hope Nintendo does fix, because I'd love a USB headset or something for my Switch personally. I hope there's chat rooms or whatever, but I know it's going to work with the phone somehow.
It's going to be weird.
And when it works with the phone, we're also getting a limited app, I think sometime after E3, maybe after that conference. Who knows? I hope they work this out, and I hope this is the only design or a version of the design that is this complicated. That's safe to say?
Yeah.
There's not much to say about the headset. We basically scratched all points that we wanted to scratch. This is... I'm gonna say it's our second main topic, because this is a big one. So I usually write the scripts ahead in advance. But yesterday, Monday, June 5th, Nintendo announced there's going to be a Pokemon Direct this morning.
Oh.
It was 10 a.m. our time, and it was about, what would you say, 8 minutes? 8 to 10 minutes?
8 minutes.
It raised some eyebrows.
It sucked.
My opinion on it, they announced 3 things total. They announced Pokken Tournament DX, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's called?
DX.
I wanted Pokken to come to the Switch, so I'm very pleased with that, and I'm happy for that. They also announced Pokemon Gold and Silver for Virtual Console for the 3DS. That is also really cool.
Been hyped for that, and I actually really wanted that.
I hope that comes to the Switch's Virtual Console.
Let's hope.
I would be really happy about that. And then...
Brendan, don't say it.
There was a downer.
Don't say it, Brendan.
The downer is the Ultra games. These Ultra games are Pokemon Sun, or Ultra Pokemon Sun, and Ultra Pokemon Moon.
No, it's Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's, like, you could, like, to put it into perspective for you people, Brendan has a poster right next to us of Pokemon Sun and Moon. You could literally just take a marker and sketch on the emblems, and it would look like what they did.
Yeah, it's like a little Sharpie dot and all. But that's how it looks aesthetically. What is in this game for people who haven't known? This is what they say, it's a little bit of a reworking in the Nintendo Pokemon Sun and Moon story from the game that came out a year ago. And
Not even a year ago.
And supposedly we're getting new Pokemon and tweaks to Solgaleo and Lunala, right? That's the name or whatever.
Unfortunately.
This may be the game I'm going to pass on.
Yep.
As a big Pokemon fan, I was really sad seeing these Ultra games.
It hurt when I wasn't even like, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, they're doing this. All right. And then at the end, I see like the screen, and it look on the top right, and just a Nintendo 3DS, and I'm like, Nintendo.
I almost had some like horrible flashbacks. For people that know me, huge Pokemon fan. Charmander's on my leg.
Yeah.
I skipped Gen 5.
A lot of people did.
Gen 5 was the Unova region. Unova, whatever. And there's some really cool Pokemon in that generation. The starters didn't cut it for me. The region seemed cool. It was like New York, right?
The graphics looked cool.
Yeah, it was something different for its time.
It was 2D sprites in 3D.
Yeah,
cool.
finally motion sprites.
Yeah.
Really cool. I skipped it. It wasn't my cup of tea. Skipped that one, and then I skipped Pokemon Black and White too. And then today, I'm watching the Direct. I'm pleased. We got some cool new Pokemon. Finally got the Japanese ones coming to the console. Yeah. Especially, it's coming to the Switch. Has me really excited.
With 60 frames, it's going to be impressive.
Yeah.
In handheld.
Then they go ahead and they announced Gold and Silver after the Ultra games. The Ultra games, they showed, it kind of seamlessly fit in to Pokken, right?
Yeah,
you saw the guy running
like
around
2 seconds.
Yeah, he was seeing his family. Then you see Litten, Poplio, and Rowlet. And I was like, oh, okay, so we're seeing Sun and Moon from last year. Then they go, oh, no, here we go. You're seeing like this like granite designs on
I don't even know what they are.
Solgaleo and Lunala, and it just does not look good. And they said there's some minor tweaks to the story, new Pokemon, and all this stuff. I'm not sold on it.
Nope.
I'm not sold on it. I don't really need a reason to go back to the Lola, honestly. I'd rather just put in my Sun cart into my 3DS and play that, because I still haven't done everything in that game. And I thought we were done with these sequels of like these big Pokemon games.
Like, this is the first time since like Switch launched that like Nintendo just made me shake my head at them. Like, why?
I know.
Like, this is the real like, and like I try to be so positive about Nintendo, and I try to like most of the things I can get like a saving grace for, even stuff like Mario Rabbids.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yeah, it's weird, but like it could work. This and just like why Nintendo? You're putting this effort in on a half-assed port, like upgrade. If you want to call it that. It's not even a
port. It's just
like an upgrade.
Yeah.
But like all that used time and assets and expenses could have been put towards a Switch game for Pokemon.
This being said, I also did mention this to my other friends that were looking forward to a XD or Coliseum game. There could be a big announcement next week at E3. That's also a possibility.
But the thing that strikes me is, like, why would they have a Pokemon Direct and, like, leave out the biggest game, probably, that
exactly.
they would announce?
Maybe they were trying to use this Direct to kind of cut some fat from their presentation next week. I'm not sure. The Ultra games really worry me.
Same.
It is the big uh-oh since the Switch or whatever, since the Switch has launched. Everything Nintendo's been doing has been great.
And it's like, I want to say Nintendo's most profitable franchise.
Pokemon, yeah, for sure.
Breath of the Wild for Zelda, Mario Odyssey.
Mario Kart.
These huge, over-the-top games, and like all of this hype behind all these characters. And then you get to Pokemon, the big one, the mother load.
You will sell systems with Pokemon regardless, and then
follow my finger here, Brandon. They went right up, and then they fell so flat.
I think everybody, when they saw Pokken, they're like, "Oh, cool! So this is the first Switch game we're gonna get for Pokemon."
And where is the beef?
Yeah, and then after that, I was assuming, just like myself, the rumored Pokemon Stars was going to be the Switch version of Sun and Moon. If that, it was going to launch alongside the 3DS version of Stars, and you were kind of have a Fire Emblem Warriors deal,
exactly,
where you're getting a new 3DS Pokemon, and you're also getting a Switch Pokemon, but it is the same deal, just on 2 different consoles. I think that would have been the best bet for Nintendo. This is interesting, and I'm curious to see, and I hope they clarify what's going to be in the Ultra games next week. I'm not interested.
At the same time, yeah, like I couldn't care.
I'm not interested in Sol Galeo and Lunala really anymore, and
like
the Alola region was cool. I get it. It was awesome. We have this new region.
And yeah, that game was like, I haven't even beaten it. It's on my backlog. Yeah. But like, it's an incredible game. From what I've played, I've loved that game. And there was so much care into it. This is just like, here's it, but more. And it's like not. And like you're charging people $40 for this rehash. Like back when we had like Diamond, Pearl, Platinum. Platinum, yes, it was like
Platinum twisted Diamond and Pearl together and also flipped it on its head with the dimensional world.
Yeah, and like
Giratina as
there was a lot different in there. And like Nintendo could still like save grace with this game and like be like, this is how much is different here. Like if they told me, oh, you can go to like
Kanto.
Yeah. Imagine that. I'm sold. I will buy that game because like just something that will really like pull in people. Because, like, honestly, like, it's dead now, but when Pokemon Go came out, you know how many people who played those original games were outside looking for Pokemon? And
so many. You
know how many probably thought, I wonder what they're up to right now? And if you were to say, like, this game, after game, you can go back to Kanto, you know how many people would pick that up in an instant just to get to Kanto?
Well, I was also talking to our friend Kyle. He was on Facebook today.
We love you, Kyle.
And he was talking about what he would like to see in the Ultra games, or how the story would work, because you know how Pokemon Black and White 2 was a distant way in the future since the first Black and White.
I really
supposedly the story was a couple years later in Black and White 2.
Okay.
Since the first game. I said, what if you start out in Kanto, and after you beat that, you go to Alola, and they kind of flip it on its head. That would be a good incentive for me to go buy that game.
All 7 regions, 1 game. That's it. That's what we're getting for Switch.
They better put that in Switch. I would love to see an HD.
That would be it.
Johto and.
But do you know how much that would take?
Take all the time you need.
Yeah, right.
Game Freak. Take all the time you need. Pokemon. I'll always be there for you, except for the Ultra games.
Yeah, like this is like your went and drank too much.
I was also saying it's like.
And we're the embarrassed parent calling it.
I never thought I'd skip another Pokemon game again. Yeah. Another, big RPG Pokemon game again. This is the first one since Gen 5, and I thought I'd never do it again. But I have no interest in these Ultra games.
And that's what's sad about it. It's like none at all. I mean, it does also play into the fact that we were all expecting Switch. We're all expecting Switch Pokemon.
It is true.
And this is what we got. And it's just like, why?
And they also need to clarify what the story differences are.
Because that is not a selling point at all. For people who have I bought the double pack.
Yeah.
I did sell the other copy to a friend of mine, but like I'm a pretty big Pokemon fan ever since I was like, yay high.
Yeah.
And like, it's always cool to like see new Pokemon and all this stuff, but like when you're just like slight changes to the story.
Last year for its anniversary. We got it last year.
Yeah.
And Pokemon made this big deal. It's Sun and Moon for its 20th anniversary of Pokemon, and a year later, you're already topping it.
Here's a little more. That is a whole, these arguments have been around for years. But
when did Crystal, Platinum, and Emerald come out?
Probably 2 years. 2 years.
2 years or so, right? After?
That's a pretty safe estimate.
I would assume so.
But, like I said, this argument's been around for years. If you're gonna make just a sequel to it a year later, literally it releases a year,
it's
pretty much in the same month, you're robbing people who bought the original.
Yeah, it's
if
not
you're just
fair.
It isn't.
And if you have the red and blue stuff in it too, I'm gonna be so annoyed because that's what the whole charm was about Moon or Sun and Moon. You could go meet blue and red.
Yeah.
And you were like, wow, they're really giving us a cool treatment for the anniversary. This really feels like an anniversary experience. There's no more HMs. There's all this, really new stuff to Pokemon.
They dumbed it down, but, at the same time, they made it way more accessible to kids.
Yeah.
And, it just felt right.
It truly felt like it was for the fans, Sun and Moon.
Yeah. It like old and young.
Everybody wanted Pokemon Snap. We're adding a Pokemon camera picture mode. I don't know how many people
That was the only
used it.
3D available.
Yeah, and I didn't really use the 3D in the Pokemon Sun and Moon, but again, it was a game for the fans. And did it deliver? I thought it delivered.
I want to beat it. Like I'm like honestly torn now. Like I know I said I was gonna beat Shadows of Valentia next, but now I'm like, Sun.
I'd say go play Sun because
It's been 7 months, Brandon, and I got like to the second island. That was it.
Oh, I went back and beat it, and I thought it was fantastic. The game was really good.
Like no, from what I played, I'm like this game.
I didn't do a lot of the post credit stuff though, so I didn't fight Red or Blue or.
Okay.
I didn't.
I thought you were gonna spoil something.
No. I would not spoil stuff here on the Brinstar podcast. We're good souls here. So as for topic 4, I mean, the cool takeaways: Pokken Tournament DX with the cool new Pokken.
All that's really new, though, technically speaking, is
Decidueye, which is cool.
It looks like a cool
and the
character.
cover art is fantastic for that game. I'm a big Tekken person, as you'll hear soon.
Oh,
Tekken's one of my favorite fighting games. Pokken was made by the Tekken guys over there. I really like Pokken. It's a lot of fun. I'm excited to see it come to the Switch, and then have me a nice other Switch game, because I do like fighting games, and it's Pokemon. Pokemon is true and near and dear to me.
And I mean, like, if you can get a game that looks that graphically demanding,
It's
60
beautiful.
frames in tabletop, there is nothing that like Nintendo can't do with this, and that's what's so incredible. These games look like magic, Brandon.
Yeah.
Like Mario Kart 8 looks.
Mario Kart 8 looks amazing.
Outstanding.
Breath of the Wild is breathtaking. No
like
pun
I
intended.
honestly liked it more out of dock than in dock.
Yeah.
Save for a certain amount of parts, but like.
Well, there's also Street Fighter 2, which looks good both ways, even though that's 2D. Bomberman, for what it is, looks really good. Lego City. Right?
The thing about Lego City, I just, for you viewers at home, I had just beaten it like 2 nights ago. The way it is at first, it's very like not graphically demanding, but like a lot of lighting.
Yeah.
And like
cool.
it's very, there's a lot of shading and shadows, and you would think like it doesn't run all that well. And you know what? To a point, yes, you're right. It does not run constant, but like it never like really dips that bad, honestly. And like driving, everything feels fluent. I played the entire game in handheld, except for a few parts.
That's awesome.
And I'm going to be talking about that game in a little bit.
The Switch is really showing its handheld roots, and it's doing so well. Also, I just want to close out topic number 4 with a little bit of talk about Gold and Silver. You're excited, right?
Like, man, I was months back. I was just like, man, they did blue, yellow, and gold. I mean, they did blue, yellow, and red. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, why don't they do silver and gold? I love those games. And now, like, when I saw that, I was like, I literally was looking at my phone as soon as I woke up. I'm like, yes, I was literally saying this out loud, like, thank you. It's all I wanted.
Silver and gold are awesome. You're gonna get them in color now too. If you didn't play the yellow only, you're gonna get them in color. You're gonna get to go to Kanto too. It's fantastic. I know this is where some people would be like, well, why can't I just play Heart Gold or Soul Silver? Because
you want to pay
that game
$50.
is expensive as all hell.
I have a Poke Walker.
And also, the cool thing about Silver and Gold is, you get to use Pokebank.
And you get to go back to Kanto.
Yeah, and supposedly, I think it still works where you're going to get the hidden abilities for some of these Pokemon when you trade them. Like, Typhlosion, I think he has Thunder Punch. Or something.
That shot.
Like, it's something weird like that. That's cool. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to play at least Gold or Silver, maybe even Crystal.
If Crystal comes,
because that Crystal had animations in the Pokemon.
Yeah,
I think.
And it was beautiful. And you could be a girl for the first time.
In Gold and Silver, could your Pokemon follow you like Yellow? No, that was only Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
That was only Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
I love that game.
If they brought that mechanic back, that would be nice.
Bring that back in Ultra.
I was actually talking to my friend. I was talking to Kyle about it. Kyle. And he was like, I would want to see a Gen 4 remake.
Gen 4 remake,
Switch,
I think it's...
Or 3DS. But
I think if you're going to see Gen 4 remake, that's coming to Switch.
And honestly, Gen 4 is my favorite, besides Gen 1, because, you know, I can't be like... Everyone's a Gen 1er, but aside from Gen 1, Gen 4 is my favorite.
I'm a Gen 3 guy.
Your favorite is Gen 3?
Yeah.
Get out. This is your house, but get out.
It's creative, isn't it? Everybody...
Gen 1, dude.
Well, no. Obviously, Gen...
Aside from Gen 1.
Yeah, Gen 3.
Okay.
But I will say, my next favorite region is 4. Because that, like, the mine area, the snow peak area.
I loved how you used to be able to go underground and go
area.
mining for materials.
Yeah, you'd hang
like
out with
plates.
your friends and all that stuff.
Yeah, like that was such a cool feature. Underutilized. Underutilized Nintendo.
Please make a Gen 4 remake.
Put it on Switch or put it on 3DS. That's fair too. I will take a remake. Either way, as long as it's not a, here's this game but more, because that's just very frustrating.
Yeah, but we kind of want to just stay on the Switch train.
I know. I'm aware of that.
Regardless, it would be cool to see Gen 4.
Dual port.
Dual port, maybe.
Dual port. That's fair.
So this is a segment of our show where the guests and myself discuss the biggest and best thing that has happened to them in the past week in their gaming life, their gaming experience, and what they have been doing in gaming. Matt, you go first.
Mine's so dumb. It's like I said in the cover. So like going through the whole game, I was just like, yeah, this game is pretty nice. Like it's fun. Like you can be different disguises, which had different abilities, and all that. And then there was this one mission, and he was like, I need you to steal a T-Rex. And I was like, excuse me?
I love it.
and he was like, there's a T-Rex in the museum, and I need you to steal it. And I'm like, no, there's no way. Like, this is not a thing. I break into the museum, do whatever, and all of a sudden it's like super build, which are these builds where you need a certain amount of blocks to build it. And I'll just press the button, and it's like T-Rex, and I'm like, we're about to do this, aren't we? I do the mission, and I get the blocks, and it builds, and he's like, now ride it. I'm like, what?
That is awesome.
Get on top, and I just out of the museum, and I am running away from cops on the highway on a T-Rex, slapping them with the tail, and like cars are blowing up behind me.
So it's like a reverse Jurassic Park. Like
it was so cool.
That's awesome.
I was just like, wow, this is like a really magic moment, and that is my like big moment that happened this week.
I really gotta get to that game, especially
it's so good.
Now since there's a T-Rex scene. I saw it in the trailer and all the Switch like standees in the store, and I remember you see the T-Rex break out of the museum in the trailer.
It's so
I'm
cool.
just like, what is that? I need to get this game for this scene.
It's so magic.
So now you talking about that, I may need to get that soon. May
should have got it when it was on sale.
My game experience for the past week, I have been playing more of Metroid Prime, getting closer and closer to beating that game, and it's still fun. It's still very fun. It's cool. Like I said in the last episode, man, Wii motion controls, it's nice in that game, but I'm just getting tired of that control. Like, I'd just rather have a controller. And I'm not going to play it on GameCube because it's weird with not the second joystick, whatever. I've been playing more Metroid Prime. It's fun. Really enjoying it. Hopefully I can beat it soon. Maybe when I get back from vacation. Who knows? The big game that came out last week for me.
Here it is.
Tekken 7 on the PlayStation 4. Yes, I know. It's not a Nintendo game.
Heresy.
Tekken is one of my all-time favorite fighting game franchises. They added new characters, a story mode, customization came back. The music is absolutely phenomenal in that series, and it still continues to be phenomenal in Tekken 7. Tekken 7 should really come to the Nintendo Switch. This is a game I will buy, and I will not stop.
This is Brendan's cry.
I will not stop playing Tekken 7 if it came to the Nintendo Switch. I'm probably not going to stop playing it on the PS4. It's probably going to be the game stuck in my PS4 for months.
Just bear with me. We did have Tekken on Wii U.
I know.
Tekken Tag Tournament 2, and we had exclusive costumes. And those were amazing.
That has me very excited. So as far as that goes,
the possibilities there.
I hope Tekken 7 comes to the Nintendo Switch. Other than that, that's basically what I've been playing as far as that goes in my moment of the week. Tekken 7's great. If you have a PS4, PC, Xbox One, please try that game out. And I hope it comes to the Nintendo Switch. That's about it that we have here. This is the closing of the show. If you are looking for me, you can find me on Twitter, @TheWensonator. You can also find Matt
as Just a Wisp.
Just a Wisp on Twitter, Instagram, we're everywhere. Like
everywhere.
Always. Thank you for listening this week on the Brinstar podcast. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and if you have any questions or concerns, please leave a comment in the comment section below.
We love
And
to
if
hear
you
from you.
and if you really like what we're doing here on the show, please click that subscribe button and like this video for more upcoming content.